My name is Lula Temper. I was born in Alabama,
What part?
Grand Bay, Alabama.
Grand Bay. So what was it like in the early days? How did y'all used to go to the store?
I don't remember because I didn't live there after I got past 14, 15. But I remember walking to school. We had to walk about 3 miles to the school every morning.
Dang.
And we meet up at the corner and we all walk together. And the strangest thing, it never did rain. We walked downside the highway and it never did rain the whole time I remember walking to school. It was downside of a highway and we passed there.
That's crazy.
And then on Saturday we would go to a movie. On Saturday they would have a movie on Saturday and we would go to the movie.
Every Saturday?
Not every Saturday, but every other Saturday we would go to a movie. And then
Part of school?
Huh?
That was part of school?
Yeah, but before that I was living in St. Elmo, Alabama, and I remember going to school where we went to the school on every day through the week, and on Sunday it was a church. And the teacher would ride down from Mobile to St. Elmo, and she would teach from the first grade to the 8th grade in this building, and it was like a church on Sunday and a school all through the week.
And so, did you go to all black schools?
Huh?
You went to all black schools?
Yeah.
Was it segregated?
No, it was all black, but they had a school for the black children, and then further up the highway they had a white brick school for all the white children.
Do you remember seeing a lot of white kids growing up, or did you just live in a different part of town?
Well, no, I didn't see too many white children, and then when I got to be about 20, they had people. We used to have to go to the back door to get served a meal or whatever, and they had fountains where we had to drink, and they had a white for the white and then one for the black. It was segregated all through my young life, and then when in '64. About in '64, that's when they had marched and they had integration.
So how did you feel when you had to go in segregated places?
Well, I didn't know it was the normal thing, but it wasn't pleasant. But we did it, and it wasn't pleasant. But that's what we had to do, because that was the law. Whatever they say for the blacks here and the whites there, it was the law.
Did you ever see anybody fight or get mad about it?
No.
Did your parent or did the older people in the household, did they ever complain about it?
I didn't stay with the older people. I live with my uncle and his family from the time I was 15 until I was 17.
You said you lived with your aunt before that, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear her complain about it?
No.
Did the older people talk about it at all?
They talked about it, but was nothing they could do about it. It's accepted. And I remember when they had ration food and stuff. That was before I left home. They had ration, nylon stockings and different things because they had a wall then, and everything was kind of scarce. You couldn't just go buy stuff like with money. You just had to have stamps to buy some food and stuff.
Like food stamps?
Yeah, but it wasn't food stamps. It was like rations, they call it.
Oh. So, I remember you saying when you was growing up, y'all had a farm or something.
I stayed with my aunt on her farm.
She owned it?
Well, it was on her land. Yes, she owned it. It wasn't a real farm. It was just a garden, and she had planted vegetables and stuff like that. She had cows and pigs and chickens. But it wasn't no big farm. It was a small area that she had. That was hers and my uncle and my cousin.
So that's how y'all ate?
Yeah.
So you used to be milking cows?
No, I wasn't big enough. I was small.
So did you do any of the gardening work or anything like that?
No.
You didn't do nothing? You was chilling.
I was too small to do all that. I was more about 7.
Grandpa said he was picking cotton when he was 6.
I remember going in the field and picking. My mom, my aunt and them used to have cotton sacks, and I would help them put the cotton in the sacks. But I was small. I didn't know really how to do it too well.
So they used to be making their own clothes with that cotton?
No, they had sacks with flour and stuff in it, and it was printed material over the sacks, and they would cut them open and make skirts and things with them. I remember that.
Yeah, so they was making clothes.
But that's all they made with them.
Just skirts?
Just skirts, yeah.
Did they make their own clothes, like shirts and?
No.
They go to the store to get shirts and stuff like that.
Mm.
And shoes.
They ordered them. They didn't have no stores out there. They ordered them.
Sears?
No, Sears Roebuck. Sears Roebuck and Bella Hash and I don't remember the other name of the store.
Have you ever heard that Sears was run by a black man?
No.
Grandpa said he heard that it was part owned by a black man.
Mm.
And they decided to start selling to black people because before then it was hard to get people to sell to black people.
Mm.
They just wouldn't sell.
Well, I didn't know about all that when I was down there, but I left from there and went to the city when I was 14, last part of my 14th year. When I made 15, I was working at a hotel in Jackson, Mississippi. I was a pantry girl and elevator operator. And I worked there about 4 years, and then I got married.
So, have you ever had any racist experiences?
Well, not really till I come down here from Katrina.
Really?
And I was parked at a Walmart, and this white lady come up behind my car and in front of my car, and I run right to the back of her car, and she got out and was cursing and said, "I need to go back where I come from."
What?
And she told me, "You need to go back where you come from."
Did she say Africa?
No, she was speaking back about New Orleans, where I come from, because she saw the Louisiana tag on my car.
That's the most racist experience you had?
Yeah.
Really?
And then they used to follow me around, like we go in a store, they be watching you, and they still do that till this day. They watch me and my husband like they think we gonna steal something, following us around, just looking.
But you said that stuff didn't happen till you moved to Houston?
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me all your years in Alabama, all your years in Jackson as an elevator girl, all that, you never had no racist experiences?
No.
Nothing?
Mm.
What?
Mm-mm.
What about New Orleans?
New Orleans, so much happened to me there, just unbelievable. I don't remember being approached by a white person and giving me racial slurs or anything like that, but the people I was around treated me bad, and it was just unbelievable the way they treated me.
The people in your family? Or
no, people that...
Your friends?
No, just people. They act like they hate me, and I don't know why. I never did. I'm nothing, but they just act like they just my being and their presence make them feel that way towards me. And
Black people?
Yeah.
Just you've experienced the worst from your own community, basically.
Yeah.
So, tell me about some of your near-death experiences, because you said you have a lot of near-death experiences.
Well, I had the first thing I can remember was I was staying with my aunt, one of my aunts, and somebody gave me a banana and it had a straight pin in it, and I was eating it, and I saw the straight pin and I didn't bite down on it, because if I'd have swallowed it, I don't know what would have happened to me.
A straight pin?
And a banana.
Wait, what is a straight pin?
A straight pin, a straight pin. Just a plain pin with no top. Just a little.
Like what you sew with?
It's like a needle, but it was a straight pin, and it was in a banana.
What the heck?
And yeah, and something
people be doing?
No, that's what they did to me. I don't know who did it, but that's what they did. I was a little young girl. I wasn't more about 11 or 12, and that's the first time I remember anything like that. And then the second time was when I was in a car wreck in Jackson, Mississippi, and I was in my boyfriend had your grandpa had a convertible, Ford convertible, 1949 Ford convertible, and we was riding down a dark highway, and all of a sudden he asked me to take the wheel and drive, and I said, no, I don't want to ride, I don't want to drive. He kept on insisting, and when I know anything, after I refused to take the wheel, the next thing I know, the car was turning over and over down in a ditch of muddy water. And it was another couple with us, and they all, when the car turned over, the top was back on it, and it just sank down in the mud, with upside down with the top off. And I was pinned between the door and the seat, and I couldn't get out, and they got back up on the hill, and I was down there hollering, and they couldn't get me out. And so Billy, he fell down, got down there, was feeling with his hand until he caught my hand, and he pulled me until he got me out, and I got up on the curb, and I was muddy from my head to my feet, and I had been screaming and hollering, and a man from the main highway heard me hollering, and he come over where we were and asked, was everybody okay? And we said, yeah. And your grandpa's knee got cut a little bit, but other than that, nobody else got hurt. And he said, well, I'll give y'all a ride back to Jackson. And he said, but take the seat out and turn it over because I don't want my car to get muddy. And so we got in the back seat, and he brought us home. And but I didn't go to the hospital. I was supposed to work that night, running an elevator from 6 to 11, but I didn't go. I got the lady that I was staying with to go in my place, and I didn't go to the hospital or anything, but every time I would try to go to sleep, I would feel the accident happening over and over. I was having nightmares with the event happening over and over, and I could feel the car rolling over and over and over. And it was a long time before I forgot about that incident. That was the main thing that stuck with me down to this day. And it was a near death experience, because if I'd have kept down there hollering and stuff, the mud and everything going down my throat, and it was just so inconvenient, and it was just so much. I don't think I would have lived. But I prayed while I was down there, and I got over it.
So, how do you feel about the power of prayer? Because, I mean, you 87 years old.
I'm 88 now, but I know from prayer all through my life, ever since I was 3 years old, I didn't know about God, but I was on my own because my mama gave me to my aunt, and my daddy didn't claim it, so I just learned to pray from way back, because that was my only comfort, to know that I had somebody that I could talk to in a spiritual way. And it just kept me going, and up until this day. Prayers change things, and it's power in prayers. And I tell anybody that God answers prayers too. He answers prayers.
What's the biggest prayer He's answered for you?
Oh Lord, I don't remember. It wasn't just one. It was so many times. Like when I was in the hospital and I was at the point of death, and he delivered me from that, and they wanted to send me off to Jackson, Louisiana, and I knew I had my children, and I wanted to be with them, and I knew if they would send me away, I would never see them again. And I just prayed daily, and the doctors told me if I promised to come back to the clinic, they would let me go home, and no one wanted me home. So when I got ready to come home, somebody had taken half of my clothes, my shoes, and I didn't have a cab fare to get home, so I prayed and I said, Lord, I want to get back home to my children. So I got a cab and he brought me home. And I didn't have my shoes, but I made it back to my children.
When was that?
That was in 2006, I think it was.
2006?
Yeah.
What children you going to...
I mean, not 6, but 1966.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I was in 1966.
That's 40 years difference.
Mm-hmm.
1966.
Yeah.
So how was that experience at the hospital?
It was unbelievable.
How was it? What was it? What happened?
Oh.
I never heard this story.
Huh?
I never heard the story of what happened. I've heard that you went to the hospital, but I never heard the story of what happened at the hospital.
Well, at the hospital, they committed me in the hospital.
How you get committed in the hospital?
Because I had been having problems at my home and arguments and stuff, and my aunt was staying in the house with me. She wasn't taking care of my children because I was sick. I had an operation, and I got her to come down to stay with my children till I get out the hospital and get better. And she kept confusion in the house and between me and my husband, and it was never a peaceable day. We argued every day. And so I just say I was just gonna leave, and I taken my children and I went by one of my acquaintances' house, and I told her not to tell nobody where I was. And I went, and so I asked for some water, and this girl gave me some water with something in it, but anyway, it made me throw up, and I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I could hear talking in the background, and they were saying they're going to have to take me to the hospital. And I was crying because I didn't want to go. And I had left home on the bus, and with me and my 5 children, I left home on the bus, and I got to the house, and my sister-in-law's mother house. And that's what happened. And so she called my husband and told him to come that where I was, but I told him not to tell nobody where I was. I wanted to just stay there a while till I could feel better, because I was tired of fussing and arguing. And she called him anyway, and that's when they took me to the hospital, and they told me they weren't going to keep me there. They was going to let me talk to the doctor. But as soon as I got there, they admitted me. And I stayed there a whole month. And they, after that, they...
So what happened while you was at the hospital?
They was forcing me to take medicine. They had a lady about 300 pounds. She was about 6 feet tall. And she put my hand behind my back and held them. And she took her hand and choked me in my throat till she made me open my mouth every morning. She did that and forced me to take strong medication. And the medicine made me sick. And she told me to take it. You better take it. And I was already sick from the operation, but they was making me sick and sicker. And I had got hot flashes, and I was sick. And I remember one morning, I was laying on a bed, and I could feel myself my body floating up, like it was floating up, leaving the bed, going up towards the ceiling. I could feel it. And I just had that experience. It was just like if I had died and come back to life. And when I woke up, I got off the cot, and I was running down the hallway, and people was staring at me and laughing at me. My hair was all over my head because I was so hot. I asked them to give me water to pour in my hair, and they gave me water with cigarette butts in it, and they took and gave me, they led me to a toilet with lye in the toilet. They did me all kind of things. Then they took my hand and strapped it down. And then a lady would watch me, and she want to fight with me. It was just crazy. And I say, I don't know why they doing this to me. And I just would pray every day, every day. And so finally, they said, well, we going to send you off to Jackson. And so I said, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And so I got so nervous till I couldn't put the spoon to my mouth to pry my teeth apart so I could eat. And I lost weight. I got to be 98 pounds. And I just prayed. And the doctors asked me, why you pray so much? And I told them I pray because I want to be home with my children. And that's all I had, my children. Nobody, everybody in the whole city turned against me. It was just terrible.
Did you experience shock therapy or anything like that?
I think they give me shock therapy. There's something like that. They give me that, but I don't know why they was doing that to me because I was not. It was the medicine making me sick, and they forced me to take it. And for that reason, that followed me till this day. I got to take medicine, and they one night they come. I was laying in the bed, and one of my friends and her husband come up there. Because somebody had said I had died. And they saw me and they said, I'm scared. They was running out of there. And my aunt come up there because she thought I was dead. And she was talking to the nurse. And then when she saw I hadn't died, she actually got upset. And I told her for her to please sign for me to get out or to go home. And her and your grandpa told me, no, you ain't ready to go home. You ain't ready to go home. And I just wanted to get home. And they wouldn't let me come. So that was another experience I had.
So after all that, you are 88 years old.
Yeah.
And you probably outlived a whole lot of them people.
I did. A lot of them wouldn't have gone on and died. A lot of them. Because the woman that recommended me to this doctor, and I think they put something in my stomach because they cut me, and I would go to the clinic all the time. I had a hurt feeling right on my side, and I'd tell them about it, and they would laugh. And they gave me the operation because I was told they said I was not a virgin when I got married, and I was, because I had never did nothing. And that's what happened. And they wanted to prove that I did away with a baby, and I hadn't did away because I didn't do nothing. But my mama didn't take me to the doctor, and they just been that lie. My aunt told my husband, and he believed what she said, and she just lied, and my mama didn't believe me. She never took me to the doctor to see what was wrong with me, and then my period was late, and she forced me to drink turpentine. That was another experience. And I every time my period be late, she forced me to take turpentine, and it was just so much. Just unbelievable things happened to me. And I remember one time I went to work, and when I come home, it was dark. And when I got there, I was living with my uncle's girlfriend because they had broke up, and he left me there with her because I was working and I couldn't go with him. So I had to stay and keep my job because I didn't have nobody to take care of me. And so the houses we lived in were side by side, and they had laid planks from post to the next house for people to pass down to get to their house, because the water had rose up in the area where I was living. The water had rose up, and I didn't know it because I had never had that experience before. And when I got down there, everybody was gone. And I walked on the planks till I got to the house where I stayed. And I got there, and the whole neighborhood was empty because the water was rising. And so I had to leave there. And I said, now where am I going to go this time of night? It was by 8 o'clock. It was dark. And I had a friend live in West Jackson, so I left there about 9 o'clock. And I walked to about almost 11 to get to her house. And I asked her, could I spend the night, stay there with them. And I stayed there with them a few days. But I kept my job because I walked from her house to my job, the Jung Hotel. And so that's what happened with me. And it was just terrible because I was a young girl and walking that time of night by myself. Anything could happen to me. But the Lord was with me then, and He always have been. And it was just amazing, the power of prayer, because that's what I relied on way back then, and I still rely on it till this day.
What has been your greatest experience in life?
When I got baptized to be a Jehovah's Witness, that's the greatest experience I ever had and ever will have, because I have a chance to get everlasting life if I continue to serve Him and do His will. And that's my determination, to serve Jehovah and do His will. No matter what come up against me, I'm just going to dedicate my life to serving Jehovah and doing His will. That's all.
When did you get baptized?
I got baptized in 83.
How did it feel when you got baptized? You got baptized in a river, or was it in church?
I got baptized in a pool.
How did it feel?
I just felt good.
Have you ever seen an angel?
No.
You ever felt like an angel was around you?
I know they are because they protect me. But I never seen them.
Have you ever had an experience where somebody unexpected helped you with something a stranger that you didn't even know?
One time I made groceries at a store, and I went to pay for it, and I was $30 short. I had to put a lot of stuff back, so this young man said, don't put it back, I'll pay for it. He paid for it, $30.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, he paid for all that food.
Wow.
For me.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That could be seen as an angel.
Could be.
You ever seen him again?
No, I never seen him again, and I don't know his name or nothing, just a stranger.
Wow.
Probably was a football player at Fiesta.
Fiesta?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Could have been a football player, somebody with a lot of money. I don't know who he was. He just was right there behind me in line. He said, don't put it back, I'll pay for it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
See, that could have been an angel right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how angels, that's how they are.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see him one time, it'll be a complete stranger. And you need him in that moment, and then you never see him again.
Mm-hmm.
You ever had anything like that happen? Other than that, just a complete stranger.
Well, let me see. No, I don't remember. But I mean, I've had a lot of narrow escapes, and it was just God that spared me. it was just an experience, because the least time you don't expect something will happen, and that's the way it is.
What's the experience? What's another experience like that?
I don't remember.
You have an experience where you was down on your luck, or you needed something and it worked out perfect?
Yeah, several times. I was shown I'd go to the mailbox and check in there. I wasn't expecting it. Like, my sister sent me $125, and I wasn't expecting it. I went to the mail, and I needed money right then, and it was there. And I mean, several times I needed money, and I get a check in the mail from somebody, and I don't be expecting it.
Wow. Mm-hmm. You feel like that's God taking care of you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Let's see, you don't need that. Long as I got King Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't need nobody else, right?
That's right.
That's right. They got people that don't have Jesus.
Yeah.
Now imagine how tough your life would have been if you ain't even have that.
Yes.
If you ain't have prayer.
I've had some good things in my times in my life too. I remember I was member of a social and pleasure club for 14 years. I was the president, and we had nice gatherings and parties and things, balls and stuff. We had fun, but then it just different things happened over the years. So
you was a swing dancer, right?
No, not really. I know how to zydeco a little.
I thought you said you was swing dancing. Or was that Grandpa?
He said that.
He swing dance or you swing? I thought you was swing dancing too. You didn't win a competition?
I won a prize doing the jitterbug one time when I was a teenager.
The jitterbug.
Yeah.
What is the jitterbug, Grandma?
Swinging out and all that, up and down and stuff.
Flipping in front, flipping and all that?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I was a cheerleader for the football team when I was in the 7th grade, and I was with the high school girls, but they liked the way I cheered, and so they picked me to be with them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You was only about 12 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was in the 7th grade, and they was teenagers, but they picked me.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. So I wish I could swing dance. Y'all used to be skating?
I never learned how to skate. I learned how to ride a bike, but I never learned how to skate.
That was more my mom era.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the skating rinks and all that.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all used to be doing for fun? Besides dancing?
Well, we used to go to the recreation center and dance and play records, go to the drugstore and get a milkshake on Sunday. A milkshake was 25 cents. We used to go up there and get us a chocolate milkshake, gather on the porch and sing and talk in the moonshine on the porch. So I had fun, and I had some fun, and it just so many different things happened to me over my life. It just never was a dull moment. There's always something. If it wasn't good, it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's. So, did y'all used to be going swimming at the pool and all that too?
No, I never did learn how to swim. That's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to learn how to swim, and I wanted to let me see. I wanted to learn how to swim, so on a sewing machine, and drive a car. So
2 out of 3.
I learned how to drive a car and sew, but I never learned how to swim.
You said you got Indian in your blood, right?
I guess.
That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Who told you? Who said you got Indian in you?
Well, my Aunt Lilybell said it.
What she say?
Said I had Indian blood in me.
Where you get it from?
I don't know. That's what she said.
Did your aunts and uncles ever talk about slavery?
No.
Did they ever talk about Africa?
No.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
They went to school?
I guess so. I don't remember because I was too young to know about them too much because they died when I was still a young girl.
You said you didn't go to the doctor, so you was pregnant.
I was 20 when I remember going to any doctor.
What was that for?
When I got pregnant.
Wow.
I don't remember. My whole life I never went to a doctor. My mama didn't take me. I only lived with her about 3 years of my whole life. As I can remember, from the time I was 11 till I was 13. And I don't remember living with her anymore.
Do you know what happened to her young?
No. She was 16 when I was born, so I don't remember because she gave me away when I was 3 years old.
Until then, she was taking care of you at her parents' house, or what? And she was on her own.
When I was a baby till I was 3, I guess she was taking care of me, but after that she gave me to my aunt.
Yeah, but was she on her own taking care of you?
I don't know. I don't remember because I was a baby and I was 3 years old.
You ever wish you had good parents?
Yes.
What would you tell somebody who don't have good parents? Or who was adopted and all this other stuff?
Well, I would say if you have your own mother and father, honor them because it's nothing like having a good parent, a mother and a father. You never realize what you miss until you don't have it.
What would you tell the people that don't have it?
Well, you always gonna have a father because you have God in your life, but an earthly father is precious, and an earthly mother is precious.
So you don't have no advice for the people that don't have earthly mothers and fathers? How to get through and...
Like I say, you have to trust in God and pray daily, and know that the Lord is with you no matter what. If you trust Him, you obey Him and do His will, He'll take good care of you. Because He say He'll never forsake you and He'll never leave you.
Do you have any regrets?
Well, I have some regrets, but still, I always had somebody to fall on, and that's God. I've been by myself all my life, and I thought when I got married I would have somebody care about me, but it was the opposite. And I thought when I had children it would be the same way, but that was opposite too. So all I can say to the children of today, honor your father and your mother, because when they're gone, your best friends is gone off this earth. They won't realize it now because they're living their life and they got their children in their homes or whatever. But one day they're gonna realize it. and they're going, and it's too late then.
If there's one skill you think somebody needs to make it through their whole life, what skill do you think it is?
Let me see. Is to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. So you have to do that. That's the main thing. You have to do that.
So basically, spiritual guidance.
Yes, spiritual guidance.
So why do you think that's the main skill? You don't think typing or being able to get a good job or making money?
No. That's not the most important thing, because you do not need to have an encyclopedia to serve God. You just need a willful, a loving heart. You don't ask for much. So you don't have to know a lot, but the basics, when you read the Bible, you learn the way to go and what to do. Because material things is just temporary. They won't be with you always, and you got to focus on the fact that one day you got to leave this earth. And what will your life, what will happen to you then? It's another life after this life, but you have to focus on what's to come and not look back, but focus ahead and keep going, because life here is very short, but it's another life, and if you do God's will, you may make it through that life, because everybody ain't gonna make it, but you could have a chance if you do His will.
Yep. So, as far as spiritual guidance, what are some experiences that you've had where you feel like only spiritual guidance was the thing that got you? So, for example, having a feeling that you should do this or a feeling that you should do that, and trusting that feeling or that guidance or a dream. What are some experiences like that?
I remember sitting in the Kingdom Hall one Sunday, and the lesson was about trust in the Lord. And I was bringing a sister home to a house from the Kingdom Hall. She and I was driving. She was in the seat as a passenger, and we got at Chimney Rock and Fuquay, and I'm driving, and the light was green, and I was supposed to keep going, but the car just stopped at the red light, at the green light, and I was supposed to keep going on the green light. The minute I stopped, a car comes speeding through there, and if I'd have kept going on the green light, the car would have hit us sideways, but it didn't. So that was another experience I had.
Wow.
And I mean, we had been talking about that. That scripture come up. Trust in Jehovah with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. So that day He directed us, because I know if I'd have kept going, the car would have hit me like that. And it was speeding across the run red light.
So when you said the car stopped, did you stop the car?
I stopped it, but I don't know why I stopped it, because I had to go way to go on the green light. But it just come to a stop. I just stopped at the green light. And this red light was on, like coming this way, the red light was red. and the green light was green this way, and I was going this way. The light was green, and I was supposed to keep going.
So,
now,
you done?
Yes.
You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I'm
now,
ready
you
to
know,
go.
It's very rare for an 88-year-old to be driving.
It is?
Yes. These people stop driving. They be 70-something years old, can't drive.
Well, that lady died the same age I am, but she was a year younger. She died. What was her name? You know, this last week.
RBG or something like that.
No, something else. Her name was.
Is
She
that
was
what
Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's her. RBG or something. RGB.
Anyway, she was 77.
That's when she died?
Yeah, she died last
She's
week.
10 years younger than you then.
No.
Come on.
I mean, 87, what I'm trying to say.
Okay, you just said she's 77.
No, 87. That's how old she
87.
was. And she was the first woman to be laid in state at the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And she made history after death, and she had fought with 4 cancers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had 4 cancers, and she beat them all, and she finally passed.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Them people be knowing the cure.
Yeah.
You know they got a cure for cancer, right?
They say I don't have it no more.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
They say I like my blood count is up to like normal. It's normal. It's been normal for about 6-8 months.
That's good. See, this coronavirus did. See what the coronavirus did?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how you can't be walking around scared of no coronavirus when you just beat cancer? Twice?
No, I only had it once.
I thought you had cancer before.
No, I never had it before.
What?
Mm-mm.
I thought you had it a couple years ago.
No. That's the same one. That's the same one.
But it came back, right?
No, it just lingered for 2017 to today.
So what was did you do chemotherapy and all that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know chemotherapy by itself be taking people out.
Mm-hmm. But the kind I had, it didn't make me sick. Like it makes some people sick, but it didn't make me sick.
Wow.
No, it didn't make me sick.
That's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's a wrap.
Now, what it is, I can see some of it.